Well, here she is, our little beauty. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. A gorgeous and lovely thing. So I'd really like to show you what happens inside. This bit mostly tells you that you don't need fixing and that everything is okay with you, reminding you to trust the process, even when it feels like you're falling apart. And just to illustrate that, for people who don't know, there's a full description of the seasons, of cyclical living, what that might mean to you and what that might look like through your life seasons there. Beautifully illustrated. And what that looks like in the menstrual seasons too, because for most people in perimenopause, you will still be menstruating, even though you're likely to have more of an autumnal kind of a feeling. And each season has a Yoga Nidra all of its own. And if you use this QR code, it will take you to a library of 4 Yoga Nidras, one for each season. And these Yoga Nidras will help you to integrate the concepts of the seasons, the feelings of the seasons, so that you can really identify them in your body. And also get a lovely rest. So there's that. And there's also an intention setting Yoga Nidra. And I'll share more about that in a moment. And each season has a little section. So here's winter, and it will show you what the self-care is. Or serving, like a serving suggestion, really. And then in a little more depth, you can get some tips and some ideas about how you might care for yourself. Really simple, doable things that you can put into your everyday life. And there's also a sort of self-care at a glance, because sometimes we just need something very short and easily digestible to understand. What the challenges might be, what to look out for. And here is the direction to the Yoga Nidra. So it's always available. You can always find it when you have your journal nearby, so you can get a little 20 minutes respite. And that carries on for each season. There's spring, looking gorgeous. See those spring birch leaves are just adorable. And I wanted to say a bit about the choice of having birch all the way through the journal. And it's really because the birch tree is a colonizer. It's a plant that first grows on newly turned earth. So it's a great representation of hope, of life returning, of new growth happening, really. So that this follows through the whole book in all the seasons and shows all the seasons of the tree. I'm particularly fond of silver birches. There's an avenue of them near where I live, where I go cycling, which is lovely. Anyway, so that's why the silver birch is important. There's some summer, and you will have summer in your perimenopause. It's just a different kind of summer, perhaps more muted. There are the gifts, and the Nidra again, and of course autumn. You'll be spending a lot more attention here. Some ideas, and the shitty committee, that's the inner critic. It's a great phrase coined by Hannah B. Burton, nutritionist. Go look her up. Thank you for letting me use that, Hannah. I think it's great. Yeah, and the Yoga Nidra. Something about the seasons of perimenopause. And now we're getting into the how-to department. So a word about moon charts. You know, people who are menstruating may not be interested in charting with the moon. But as your periods become further apart, I would suggest that it becomes more interesting. It's likely to become more interesting because recognizing your seasons and recognizing your energy with the moon is going to be how you're going to navigate your postmenopausal life, likely as not. So it's really good to start practicing now and starting to get a sense of how that lies for you. And really the only way of doing it, you know, there's lots of information that will tell you how you're going to feel. But the only way you can really know is by charting it yourself. That's my favourite illustration. I think that's just beautiful. The first quarter moon. So here's where we start. We start by setting an intention. So your intention might be a qualitative thing to move towards more rest, to feel more rested perhaps, or to feel more spacious, and you can jot those down there. And these are going to guide you for the next 4 weeks. So the date of the moon this month was the 3rd of September. Always good to put the year on. And here is the date goes in that, goes in that outer wheel there. So that's the 10th there. That's today, 11th, and so on. So my energy today is pretty manic. You will not be surprised to hear. So just noting that down there. And that's all that's really needed with the moon charting. And then here's the your journaling pages, and you can see these go on for 52 weeks. So if we're starting with today, it's the 10th of September 24. The moon phase is a tiny little, you can either draw it or you can put it's day 7, I think, here. Day 7, whatever feels better for you. And I don't have a cycle, so I can just colour that bit in. So how am I feeling? Manic, proud, expanded. That's me today. So I'm in a bit of a summer phase. And what I've been doing is grounding myself. So my seasonal self-care has been getting my feet on earth in the garden, hugging my family, and doing the washing up. Yeah, washing up can be self-care because it is deeply grounded for me in this situation. Yeah, so that's as simple as it need be. And you continue through your weeks like that. And then after 4 weeks, there's this little reflection time. And of course, everything is optional. But it's really interesting to look at what you're proud of achieving. Looking back through your 4 weeks of kindness. What patterns you noticed from your moon chart if you were using them. So when was your energy very high and when was it low? That's a really good thing to notice. What's new? What you can let go of. And in the light of all that, what sort of intention you can set for the next month. And if you go to the QR code that we saw earlier, you'll have an intention setting meditation for the next month that will really help you integrate these thoughts. There's a place for reflection on the last month and a place for feeling into a new intention. And don't worry if the new intention doesn't come straight away. Sometimes it doesn't land for a little while. But it really, really helps when life is so intense and so busy and you're in this process of change to have a simple guide for spaciousness, for purification, for doing nothing, for whatever it is that you feel will be helpful for you. So there's a whole year's worth of this, 12 months. And of course you can use it. You can start today. You can start with your period. You can start with the moon. It really doesn't matter where you are when you're starting. You can do it in your way. And of course, you can do drawings or pictures or stickers or develop your own iconography around this. And then at the end of the year, there's some final reflections, and I have found it just so helpful going through my diaries, going through my journals at the end of the year to look at what's been going on, to look at patterns. It's just so interesting. I go through with a highlighter, really, and see what jumps out at me. And so after a year, you will have 52 weeks of different ways you've been kind to yourself. I mean, just extraordinary. And a very different way of looking at perimenopause than the what's going wrong sort of thing. And when you get stuck and you need more information, there's a brilliant selection here of more resources. There are books and websites that will take you deeper into particular topics. There. And that's me. So yeah, there she is.